says here, plot the free body diagram of the whole system and all members in the system. Let's look at the whole system. What is this? It's basically a compression machine. You've got a piston being forced. When you apply force here, the piston moves in this direction and compresses whatever we've got in the center here. So let's look at the free body diagram of the whole system. So we've got the active force. We've got a support here. Support has got a two-member force. So therefore, I know my support reaction will be here. I've got the piston D. Piston D, I've got the reaction force from the ground and the compression force from the fluid or whatever, because it's compression, there's a force in this direction. So in simple words, I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there are 4 basically points where the forces are being applied for free body diagram of the structure. If I have to draw the free body diagram of this point, that's simple. I've got 2 force members. I've got a force here and a force here, which looks something like this. That's the free body diagram of this point only. It's a 2 force member. If I have to draw the free body diagram of this member, what I'm going to do, I'll draw it. I'll apply force here. I've got force here, which is FAB, which is same as this one. Excuse me, which is this one. And at this end is a pivot connection. So pivot can rotate but cannot move. So I've got my 2 forces there. So on the rod, I've got 4 forces. That's 1. That's the F800. I've got the 2-member force reaction, and I've got the 2 reaction from the pin. In simple words, it looks something like this. And if someone asks you to draw the free body diagram of the piston, that's here. So it's again very simple. You got your active force P here. You got your normal force here. On the pin force, you got your dx, which is same as this one, and you got your dy, which is same as this one, but in the opposite direction. So that's the free body diagram of your piston. No rocket science, is very easy. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Free body diagram is very easy. You don't look inside the system, okay?
Yep, sorry. सर डायरेक्शंस ऑपोजिट ही कर जब पिन का पिन सेम है हम तो पिन के अबाउट वो कर रहे हैं ना कि फोर्सेस ढूंढ रहे हैं.
Good one. Okay, I've just repeated this. Let me explain it again. A very good example here. I've got a table. That's a table, and I've got a box in it, and the box weighs. Come on, the box weighs 20 Newton. Okay. I asked you to draw the free body diagram of the box. What you're going to do? You will draw a box. Am I right? You will draw a box. Is that, or you're going to draw the table? If I ask you to draw the free body diagram of the box, are you going to draw the free body? Are you going to include the table in it?
No, sir.
No. So we'll have a box. Let's have a box. So let's look at the forces acting on the box. We've got this 20 Newton. Am I right?
Yes.
Is there any other force being applied on the box?
Sir, table for reaction force.
Yes, reaction force. Okay, let me do this. So that's my reaction force N. Is that clear? And N is equal to 20
Yes,
Newton. You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's draw the free body diagram of the table. So that's my table now. I'm drawing the free body diagram of the table. The weight of the table center is somewhere here, and the weight is 100 Newton. Okay. Okay. What else do I have to draw? I'm drawing the free body diagram of the table. Is there any other force acting on it?
Normal force of the body.
Normal force. So is the normal force acting upward or downward?
Sir,
Upward.
where is the normal force coming from? For the
From the
table,
ground on the
what
legs.
is that force? No, for the table, look at the table. Table is yeah, okay. Table is experience the top part of the table. Is it experiencing force in the downward direction or in the upward direction? It is trying to bend inward or it's trying to bend outward. Is the weight of the box trying to do this to the table or is trying to do this to the table? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So I'm drawing the free body diagram of the table, okay? So I've got the weight of the table acting. What is the other force acting on the table?
That there will be the reaction forces from the ground on the legs upwards.
You have to make life difficult for me. Yeah? Okay, sorry. Yes, you're right. Okay, what else?
So the weight of the box.
I cannot make a box here. I cannot do that. I'm drawing the free body diagram of the table. So I can draw on the table. I cannot draw the box. What are the force?
Reaction of table
Sir, can we write the reaction
box.
force which the table is acting on the box
is applied
from
by
the
the table.
center of bonds and center of
That is this one. This force is now acting downward at 20 Newton. Now
Yes, sir.
have a look at the table. Now the table is experiencing a 20 Newton force downward, which if I look at the box, imagine the box. A box is on the table. Is the box experiencing a compression force on its body or an elongating force on the body? What do you think? Look at this box and tell me, is the box experiencing a compression type of force or elongation type of force? Is there an experience of inward force, box experiencing an inward force, or the box is experiencing an outward force?
inward.
Inward force. So it's more like a compression force. So for the compression force, there has to be two forces acting in the opposite direction. Am I right?
Yes.
So therefore, you got the weight acting downward, 20 Newton, and there's a reaction force of this acting upward, which is 20 Newton. So that's the so sum of all the forces along y-axis equals 0, which means the box is stationary. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, where is this 20 Newton force? Who is applying this 20 Newton force? This N equal to 20. Who is applying this force?
Table.
Sir.
The table is applying this force. Okay, so table. So is there any so if I look at the table and there was a box here, okay, now how can a table apply a force upward? Is there any machine fitted here?
Sir, it's just trying to counter the force acting downward.
Yes. So basically, now for the table, now let's look at the table. The table is experiencing a downward force of 20 Newton. Am I right? If I look at the table,
Yes.
the table is experiencing a downward force of 20 Newton. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So it's exactly the same as this one, but in the opposite direction. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So remember, if there's a force being applied on one member, which is connected to another member, then the force direction gets opposite in the same way as, let me get rid of all this. And let me go back to, come on, to this one. Okay. Now, there's a force being applied here. I am looking at this member here. Okay. Now, this member, there's a force being applied downward. So what do you think? This AB force is trying to elongate itself or is getting compressed?
Sir, getting compressed.
Yes. So for the compression, you need the forces. So whatever force is being acted here is the same force being acted here. So you said there's a compression force. So my member AB is experiencing this force. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now stay with me. So let's look at this member, this one, okay? And let us see what is happening to the bar at this point here, at this point. So can you imagine the bar will kind of bend like this?
Yes, sir.
Can you imagine the bar will bend like this because of the link AB? Can you imagine that?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So for the bar at point, so that's the bar which is being bent at point B. So is there a force in this direction that will cause that bend? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
That force is the same as this one. Is it that clear? Is it clear now?